Am I the a-hole for not wanting to take care of a child? Me, 27 female, and my brother, 31 male, had a very different relationship with our father. He was abusive and left the family when I was 10. Until he passed, I've seen him maybe 5 times in total. Each time was very difficult, and eventually I broke contact. My brother, however, adored that man. He was very keen on keeping contact. He moved to the same city and visited him all the time. And when our father started a new family and had another daughter, my brother was there every single weekend, the last 14 years. He was part of the family. They also supported him financially, whilst I often juggled 3 jobs at once in order to survive. I wouldn't get a call, not even for my birthday. And when I ever asked for aid, they basically shut the door in front of my face. When our father passed away, I was living abroad. I was only informed by my brother. When no one could come up spontaneously with the money for the funeral, I covered it. No one ever said thank you. All belongings of my father went to his new wife and daughter. They agreed that we could have some personal stuff, but only if it was not of value. My brother offered to put a few pieces aside for me since I couldn't come due to COVID restrictions. I haven't received those things until today, and as soon as the funeral was over, the wife blocked me and everything, even on her daughter's phone. My brother said she was afraid that I was after her money. Now, 2 years later, the mom has some medical issues, so the daughter is supposed to stay at my brother's place for 8 weeks. But he's overwhelmed with it, and so he wanted to send her to me. I told him that she could come for a long weekend to see how it goes. But that I felt uncomfortable with it, because after all, I don't know this child. But he insisted she should come for 2 weeks because him and his girlfriend would be in desperate need of holidays. When I told him no, he got angry. He said, "Oh, so you would claim our father's inheritance, the pieces I never received, but then dip when responsibilities come your way?" He said I'm still part of the family and that means that I should also take care of them. That I should be grateful for having him as a brother because he's taking care of a child, basically also for me. He said he never expect me to be someone to turn down a child in need, and if this stressful phase would affect his relationship negatively, he would blame me for it. Ever since, he ignores me. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to be involved here? Now for the top comments before reading the mini update. Why the heck are you still involved in that family? Why the hell did you pay for the funeral? Why the hell would you even consider to take care of that child while she's literally nothing to you? They treat you like trash and use you whenever they see fit. You are not a-hole. You wouldn't even be if you ignore all of them. Also, if you let her stay with you for the weekend, warn your brother that if he doesn't appear to pick her up on time, you will call the police for abandonment. Just so he doesn't get the bright idea to go on vacation with a girlfriend and leave her with you for 2 weeks. Send an SMS so you have it in writing, OP. Not a-hole. Don't even let her come in the first place. Not a-hole. Do not let that child near your home. She will, without a doubt, be left there for however long her mother is sick, and your brother and his girlfriend feel like they need a holiday. The more you give, the more these people will take, and that is guaranteed. OP, I very much suggest saving yourself the time, energy, and heartache and cut them off now, before they give you a very good and very painful reason to do so. Now for the mini update. Having this thread out for a bit, reading all the messages, first made me cry, because I've never received so much reassurance. And then it made me angry, because reading the story over and over again showed me why I got away from that family, and why I should keep it that way. I am in therapy and I am healing. This is why I set boundaries for the first time now. And maybe it's normal that they go crazy about it, because they benefited from me being a pushover in the past. And these pushover tendencies are still there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, asking for reassurance. But I'm getting there, slowly. This is my first post on here, and I didn't expect it to turn out to be such a supportive and helpful experience. Thank you everyone for all the answers. Growing up in an abusive system, I'm having a really difficult time standing up for myself and telling people no. Also, to identify what is my responsibility and what isn't, especially when I'm used to strong backlash. Obviously, whenever we had a disagreement, I was clearly in the wrong in their eyes. So, it's really important for me to receive this feedback from strangers. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not paying for my sister's wedding? To start, I'll say that my parents are already offering to chip in for her. They didn't chip in for me. Even though they offered, I rejected them, as my husband paid for the entire thing. He's very wealthy, and so are his side of the family. So it was a very big, extravagant wedding. My sister was one of the bridesmaids, and I paid for her bridesmaid dress and paid for everything. I spent hours organizing my wedding and spent a lot of money on organization to make it the best day ever. My sister helped me with the hen weekend, a little with organization, and not financially. My best friend and maid of honor helped me the most with everything. Anyways, my sister now is getting married and she wants my husband to pay for it. It's 22,000 pounds that she wants us to pay for. We told her that's ridiculous and she should try to pay for her own wedding or get our parents' help. She then got angry at me saying my wedding was 1,000 times more expensive and that I had the money and wasn't being fair. Her friends and her husband have been saying that we are snobby and treat them badly and won't pay anything towards their wedding, when my sister helped out so much with mine. I've even gotten messages off some of her friends calling me an awful person. Someone even said that apparently she married her husband for the right reasons and not for money, which really upset me. I don't know if there was anything I could do or if I'm in the wrong for refusing that. I had the money and wasn't being fair. She should have landed a richer husband. Block her friends from your phone, email, and social media. They had no business bad-mouthing you. Not a-hole. You and your husband don't owe her anything. I don't want to cut her off because I love her and she's family. It's very difficult. I didn't say cut her off. I said cut off her friends. They get zero saying any of this. I've already blocked the ones that messaged me. Not a-hole. Having a big, expensive wedding isn't a necessity. If your sister wants one, then she should be able to pay for it herself. The fact that her friends and husband are bad-mouthing you as well is nasty. Not a-hole. I agree it's downright nasty of her friends to text you calling you names. And she's the one bad-mouthing you to them. She's an entitled mean girl. It's good you blocked her friends, but I'd want to unblock and reply, "How dare you text this? Do not contact me again," and block them again. I would also want to tell my sister to stop being violent money grabbing, to tell her friends to stop the nastiness or she and I will fall out. Not a-hole. It's her wedding. Her partner and parents should finance it. To your sister, I will say that weddings that cost less come also with a lower rate of divorces. Wow, no way. I'll say that to her, but I feel it might upset my husband. Haha. Inform her that neither you nor your husband birthed her nor her future husband, and as such, you are not responsible for her expenses. Also, if she isn't a freaking adult taking responsibility for her own life, she shouldn't get married. Not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for moving my girlfriend back in against my kids' and therapist's wishes? I'm a widower with 2 kids. My daughter is 18 and my son is 19. Both are in community college and living at home. I've been widowed for 2 years, and my girlfriend has been living with us since June of last year. My girlfriend, 27 female, is a beautiful, passionate, and intelligent person. She's also creative and passionate in the way my late wife was never. Exceptionally charming in her good days. However, she is also troubled, and that has rendered her unable to keep a steady job. She has no trouble landing jobs, but she'd only stay an average of 2 weeks. She is highly reactive to the thought of abandonment, and no matter how much love I give her, it's like she takes my actions and words and twists them into something sinister and then reacts to it. Which means yelling, calling friends and telling them lies about me, talking about me as if I'm not present to my kids. I've lost friends over her behavior because she'd have days where she'd show up and refuse to talk to anybody because she felt rejected by something. Even left bad reviews on a mutual friend's business because she accused us of seeing each other. We were not even in the same state during that supposed time period. She has had trauma that has made her paranoid. That has devolved into her feeling like she's being followed to and from work, so she quits. I let her contract 2 security companies for our house, but she still feels followed and just sits monitoring the cameras. She also obsessively searches every bag in the house for trackers and dumps out groceries because she feared tampering. This paranoia has resulted in her ending up in court because she's confronted innocent people accusing them of following her. I made a decision to put her in therapy and she just got out of a voluntary inpatient program. The family therapist approved of my decision to rent a condo for her while she continues therapy. The condo has 24/7 security and I visit her often. However, I miss her and want her back in my house. This isn't some fling. I want a future with her. And I saw that my daughter had texted my girlfriend saying, "I know you are a good person. Keep up the good work." So I thought despite them having conflict with my girlfriend, my kids would be willing to welcome her back. So yesterday, while my kids were celebrating the 4th, I helped move my girlfriend's stuff back in. However, when my kids got home, they both sprinted to my daughter's room and whispered for half an hour. Then they came down when my girlfriend went to get takeout and said they cannot believe I'd let her back, especially before the therapist says she's stable. I defended myself, saying I thought they said she was an intelligent, good person. They said that she means well, but so many things she's done are wrong and hard to forgive. I told them we needed to be there for her and not give up, and they said they will not forget this. And there's worse things than loneliness. Am I the a-hole? She's never physically threatened my kids. Now for the comments. YTA, YTA, YTA. I'm actually lost for words at this level of foolishness. The fact that he waited until the kids were out to move her back in implies he knew they were not on board with this and still did it. You're the a-hole, and it is going to cost you your relationship with your kids. Parents being stupid. I can do what I want. Parents in a few decades when they are dying. Why don't my kids want to see me? What's crazy to me is he doesn't seem to care if she's mentally ill or possibly on drugs. He just wants her regardless. And I wouldn't imagine the best thing would be for a mentally ill person receiving conflicting treatment from all parties involved. Like, why is he going against the therapist and family when they obviously agree on the point? The fact that you ended your post about your clinically unstable girlfriend with, "She's never physically threatened my kids," should be a giant red flag that this isn't normal or acceptable. I would not blame your kids one bit if they go low contact/no contact with you over this. You are choosing an F-buddy over the safety and well-being of your children. You're the a-hole, majorly. Saw one message from his daughter wishing OP's girlfriend to keep up the good work and automatically assumed she could move back in. Not to mention, never physically threatened means OP's girlfriend has threatened them before. He's so blinded by love that he doesn't see that he's not only putting his kids at risk, but his girlfriend too, if she regresses back into her paranoia. I don't think he is blinded by love. I think it's more about her being more creative and passionate than his late wife ever was. She's 27, his youngest is 18. She's unstable. I guess passion and creativity will win over your kids' concerns and well-being. You're the a-hole. Last story. Am I the a-hole? My sister, 31, got upset with me, female 27, for a comment I made about her husband. My sister recently became a new mom, and she's been married for almost 2 years now. We have a good relationship as siblings and friends, and I also get along well with her husband, despite not knowing him too well. One morning, my sister and I were playing with her son on my bed, and I noticed how calm he became when she hugged him. We had a light-hearted conversation about cuddling, where she mentioned her husband's concern about cuddling the baby too much would make him soft. I expressed my belief that cuddles make kids feel secure and happy, and to not let her husband dictate cuddle rules. However, my sister unexpectedly snapped at me, feeling that I had insinuated something negative about her husband. I was taken aback because I thought we were having some banter. I knew her husband wasn't serious about his comment. She then said she wishes she hadn't discussed the topic with me. This is the 3rd time she snapped at me during her visit for context. I normally apologize, but this time I could tell she was triggered by my words and told me off. So I decided to take some time alone to think things through. Later, my sister confronted me about crossing a boundary by making that comment. I explained that I never intended to insult her husband or be rude, but rather I wanted my nephew to feel loved. However, she insisted that I had crossed a line and accused me of not respecting other people's boundaries while enforcing my own. She went as far as saying, "You have no right to tell me what to do." This made me so angry. So in order to regain composure, I simply said, okay, and asked her to leave my room. Our conversation ended abruptly, and we didn't speak for the rest of the day. The next day, I offered her a cup of coffee as a peace offering, as I believe she had misunderstood my intentions and reacted strongly. However, she expressed discomfort being at our house and left to house sit for a relative, which made my mom cry. I don't believe my comment was that offensive, and it seems like the situation has been blown out of proportion. I'm unsure if I am the one at fault here. Am I the a-hole? The making them soft comment was a yellow flag, but her reaction to you is a red flag. Abuse? Unfortunately, you have no power here. Do what you can to maintain the communication channel. She may suddenly need you later. Not the a-hole. No abuse. She's an excellent mother and I think her husband is a sweetheart. I agree. I can't really do anything without groveling, and I don't want to apologize to her every single time she gets her knickers in a twist. She's a new mom. Her hormones are all over the place, and she's probably hardly slept. She's defensive of everything because her body's running on pure adrenaline. I remember those early months. If she's not usually like this, try to let moments of irrational upset go, if you can. But up to a point, because anger, sometimes blinding rage, is actually one of the first and strongest symptoms of PPD in many women. Your sister might need help from a doctor. Keep an eye on her. Give her grace and remind her of your patience when you have your own. You're right, I didn't know postpartum was such a hellscape. I feel quite bad for not being clued up on this. I'm not planning on having kids, so I never really thought I needed to know about all of that carnage. Your comment was innocent and she seems to have taken it wrong. Perhaps this is a subject that she has dealt with before with others, and you're getting the brunt of her response? That's unclear, but what is clear is that she's overreacting to what you said. I would probably tell her that she misunderstood where you were coming from, but you will keep your opinions to yourself in the future. Not a-hole. Thank you for this advice. I know she's felt like people walk all over her in the past or meddle in her business. We talk about this and support each other. I never ask her anything personal about her marriage, and I have said to that I will only ask, how is the marriage going? Once a month, and wait for it to be like, it's going good, and leave it there. I will definitely keep my opinions to myself in the future. It is clear it is a touchy subject. I'm just annoyed that she left, because now I can't even work towards a solution with her. It feels so weird.